told everybody.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside Alumni Gymnasium on the campus of Norwich Free Academy for tonight's CIAC Boys Division II second round matchup between the Westhill Vikings and the Norwich Free Academy Wildcats. High above courtside, I'm Mike O'Farrell. I'll be handling play-by-play duties tonight with my partner, Anthony Menard, providing color commentary. By day, Anthony is our Director of Human Resources here at NFA, but he's got more than 20 years of coaching experience at the high school and collegiate level, so I'm looking forward to his insight. For those of you that are wondering where my regular partner, Chris Giusti, is, you'll find him tonight on another network carrying another game, but that's all right. We are ready to go. Anthony, this is a game that we weren't really sure would even happen. That's because both teams were underdogs in the opening round action on Monday. The 26 seed Vikings knocked off Southington, the number 7 seed, in overtime. And for the second time this year, the Wildcats, who were seeded 23, traveled down to Madison to play Daniel Hand, and they shocked the Tigers on their home floor. So these teams haven't played each other. They have no common opponents. They're both coming off Monday night upsets. How do you prepare for this game?
Well, first of all, Mike, it's great to be here. There's nothing like March Madness, and both teams are playing with house money right now. Both teams went on the road. They beat the top seeds in their home gym, which is a very challenging event to do. But in terms of getting prepared for this game, they've gotten through the first game. They've worked out their nerves. Teams are scouted now through huddle and through in-person scouting. The size, the speed, the adjustment will come game time. But both teams are playing with house money. They're prepared to go, and I think they're going to be ready to compete hard and kind of feel each other out in the first 4 or 5 minutes. You'll see some coaching adjustments as well.
Now, you were down in Madison. You saw us play and knock off Daniel Hand. What was your take on that performance by the Wildcats? Seemed to me like they got off to a little bit of a slow start.
Yeah, I think Coach Brown did an awesome job. They were down 26-16 in the first half, couldn't make a shot. Madison was playing a packed-in man-to-man defense. They were clearly prepared for Josh Lavoie's dribble penetration. They sagged off their men. We had a hard time penetrating their defense, but as the game went on, we adjusted and started to make some shots and really shot very well from the foul line down the stretch to win that game on the road with a pretty good crowd against an upper seed.
So Josh Lavoie, you mentioned he led the Wildcats in that game. He had 23, including 10 straight from the free throw line, which is awesome. So the winner of tonight's game advances to the Division II quarterfinals, and the winner of tonight will play the winner of the Innovations versus Cheney Tech game. And no matter who wins tonight, they're going on the road because Innovations is the number 2 seed and Cheney is the 15 seed, and that game will be Friday night somewhere at 7 o'clock. So there's a lot on the line in this one. Westhill comes in with an 8-12 regular season record. They were 3-17 2 years ago, and 3 years ago they didn't win a game. But they went on the road and they beat the number 7 seed, Southington, in overtime, 61-55. They were down in that game by 12 at the half, and they were 20 for 30 from the free throw line. So they left some opportunities in that game, but they came back and they won. And from what I understand, Westhill had a 3-point lead with 5 seconds left in regulation. Southington buried a 3 to send it into overtime. So, it's going to be interesting to see. You always hear about the FCAC schools, and, does 8-12 in the FCAC represent something else? I don't.
Yeah, well, we're going to find out pretty quickly. They're a bigger team than we faced, certainly last game, and they seem to have some athleticism. So, again, we're going to have to adjust to that, but they're going to have to adjust to us as well. We have a tough, gritty group that's well coached and prepared for the game this evening.
And the young team for the Wildcats, very sophomore heavy, and it's going to be interesting to see how they do tonight. I mean, I think the fact that Coach Brown has already got 1 win in a state tournament game, it means a lot for this team, and the chance to get a second one tonight will really go a long way for the future of this Wildcat team when they come back next year. So we are going to meet the starting lineups momentarily, and then we're going to have the national anthem performed, and then it's going to be game time. Kind of a light crowd so far. I'm expecting more to come in. It's a busy night on campus. We have a college fair. Some people are probably still finding a parking spot, to be honest. Our student section is slowly coming in, but it'll get there. So let's meet the starters first for Westhill. Number 2, Zachary Evans, he's a senior. Number 3, Daquan Turner, he's a junior. Number 4, Kevin King, also a senior. Abdul Kanate wears number 11, he's a senior. And Taha Ismaili, number 24, he is also a senior. There are a lot. 1, 2, 5. There's 12 seniors on this team. So it's clear where they're getting their points and where the influence is coming for the Vikings. NFA, on the other hand, starts a lot of youth. Number 0, Josh Lavoie, is a sophomore. Javon Thompson is a senior. He wears number 2. He's the only senior starter. Jameer Ford wears number 4. He is a sophomore. Ethan Graham is a junior. He wears number 5. And number 10, Carter Stringer, also a sophomore for Jeff Brown's team. The Vikings are coached by Roberto Nieves. Jeff Brown again for the Wildcats. I think one of the things we're going to have to keep an eye out for, Anthony, is how big does Ethan Graham have to play tonight?
I tell you what, I'm so impressed by Ethan Graham. I thought he made every right play against Madison, got every big rebound, made every right pass. That kid is a winner. He sticks out to me right away in terms of a person who knows how to make the right plays and how to make winning plays.
All right, it's time for the national anthem. Bob Maloff is going to sing that, and we're going to be back to you right after the anthem. Bob Maloff, the man who's sung the national anthem in this gym hundreds of times. Appreciate him doing that. So one interesting thing, Anthony, about the Westhill Vikings. So they started the season with 3 wins. They lost 8 straight. They won 4 straight, and then they lost 3. So a streaky team, for sure.
Yeah, I can't really figure them out. I'm actually surprised they have so many seniors. And certainly they've lost games in a row and won games consecutively as well. So I don't know if we know what we're going to get out of them. And I'm not sure they know what they're going to get out of their play as well. They've been inconsistent, but they have momentum going into the first round, into the second round, as does NFA. So the first few minutes we'll get a good sense of what they're all about, as well as NFA.
So their high scores in their opening round game were Taha Ismaili, number 24. He had 16 points. Kevin Rojas, number 1, he comes off the bench. He had 10, and also Justin Marcial, he'll be off the bench as well. He wears number 14. He also had 10 points. For the Wildcats, it was a Josh Lavoie game with 23, and we'll see what happens tonight. Tip is up, and Ethan Graham catches it. Jameer Ford, well, I mean, that's a hell of a way to start.
Can't start any better than that. Jameer's a very, very talented player. He's got speed, he's got quickness, and athletic ability. It's good to see him get off to a good start.
So this is the Vikings. That's Kevin King, Daquan Turner. On the screen from Ismaili, a little bit of a give and go. He gets caught up, Stringer and Lavoie. And here comes Jameer running the break, can't get it. Josh just a foot on the line. We'll go back to Westhill.
A little nervous energy from Jameer there. He had Josh Lavoie open ahead of the field, but certainly he hit his first shot. He's off to a good start, and he took his energy right to the hoop. Good take, though.
This is Turner. That's King, Turner, Ismai's in the middle. That's Kanate, number 11. Back to King. Carter Stringer on him. King pulls up. No good. Ismaili fighting for the rebound. Loose ball going to stay Westhill.
And one thing I noticed really early, Mike, is I don't think Westhill looks very comfortable as of yet against the zone. I'm not sure who their shooters are. I'm sure we're going to find out. But they don't look comfortable. They don't look in rhythm. And I'm not sure how well they're going to box out and go after the boards, but we will see.
In the corner it is Evans. Evans gets it back to Turner. Turner's going to drive. Ethan on position. No call. Shot goes down for Zachary Evans. I'm sorry, that was Turner.
Great take by Turner, drawing contact and shooting over the defender.
So 3-2 Wildcats. We played 1 minute and 15 seconds. NFA basketball. This is Javon Thompson. He's got his Molly on him, leaves it for Stringer. Definitely going to be looking for some threes from Carter and Jameer to continue. Josh is going to take it in the lane. No good. Loose ball. Jameer. No good. Ethan keeping it alive. Out of bounds, NFA. You're talking about the rebounding, what we're going to see from Westhill. My God, we had, 3 opportunities there or 4?
That's a good sign for NFA. Offensive rebounding and rebound in general wins games.
Oh, how about that play? But we're going to call something on the floor. It's going to be a Westhill foul. Coach Brown had a great baseline out of bounds play there. But before the inbounds came, Kevin King, number 4, picked up a foul for Westhill. That's also their first. This is Graham Lavoie. Josh kind of surveying the scene here, figure out what he's going to do. He's going to get out to Jameer. He's going to drive. Josh, shot clock's at 15. Ethan inside move, working hard. Ethan Graham, first bucket of the night for him. So good. This is Turner. That's Kanate, back to Turner. Ismaili calling for the ball at the point, but Kanate is going to launch a 3. Abdul Kanate gets his first bucket of the night. It's a 3-pointer, and we are tied at 5 with 5:40 left to go in the first. Javon Thompson tries a 3. He gets it. Wow, we are shooting tonight, Coach.
Absolutely. Number 3 looked very comfortable. Westhill shooting that ball. He's one of the people that are standing out for me in terms of being in rhythm and ready to shoot against his zone. Interesting to see how he does as the game goes on.
That's Turner. He's got Kanate on him. Little move inside the 3-point line. No good. Long rebound goes to Stringer. And the Wildcats come the other way, looking to expand their 8-5 lead. Ethan's going to launch 3. He's going to get 3. I'm not sure anybody's missed from the outside yet.
Can't start better than that for NFA. Good to see shots go in. They weren't going in early against Hand of Madison, so it's good that they're in rhythm right away.
So this is Turner with Ford. Ethan trying to cause some havoc. He does. Kanate with a great save, but Ethan's right there. Back the other way. Not sure what that is. No good, but he gets his own rebound. And I think we got a foul on the floor.
Love Ethan's aggressiveness, his toughness. He usually gives that ball up a little earlier, but he didn't that time, but got his own rebound back.
So that's the second foul on Westhill. Still waiting to see who it's on. It's on number 2. That's Zachary Evans. That's his first. Stringer's going to inbound the ball for the Wildcats with their 11-5 lead. A little more than halfway to play here in the first quarter. Stringer gets it to Graham. Nice move, Ethan. Oh, in and out, can't go. Somehow manages to get in there for the rebound, alternating possession. Westhill basketball. He's not tall. He's what, maybe he's 6'1", Ethan? Maybe?
I was trying to figure that out. I think he's about 6 feet, 6'1". I think you're correct, but he's got a knack and a nose for the ball, and he's a tough kid, and he's aggressive.
A little bit of pressure here from the Wildcats. Westhill breaks it with no problem. That's Kanate. 14, Justin Marcial checked into the game. And number 20, Anthony Stevenson checked into the game. Turnover. So we have actually a host of substitutions here. I didn't catch that the last whistle. So Rojas, where's number 1? And another one came in. I believe that's 23. Yep, Dalton Aleknowicz. He was firing threes pregame from all over the floor, so we're going to keep an eye on 23. But already household substitutions here for Westhill. Keegan Johnston also in for the Wildcats. Josh makes his first drive to the hoop. successfully gets a bucket, and it's now 13-5, an 8-point lead for NFA halfway through the first. So this is Rojas. He's new in the game. Nice pass to Aleknowicz. It just didn't go, and that's going to be an alternating possession to the Wildcats. It's interesting that Westhill subbed out 4 of their 5 starters inside of the first 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, very interesting.
Effort or these matchups or what that is.
Not sure. If they were a pressing team, I could see the reasoning behind it, but I'm sure the coach has a reason for doing it.
Lavoie works off a Thompson screen. Back to Javon. Jameer from that same spot on the left side. That one's no good. Ethan tips it to Javon to keep it alive. Ford, Lavoie. Johnston replaced Stringer. Shot clock is at 20, so plenty of time. Josh trying to find some movement here. He gets it to Javon. That's Keegan. Shot clock's now at 10. Time to get moving. Jameer's going to launch. He's going to travel first. That's a tough possession.
Tough possession. They're surveying, trying to get the open look. They're being unselfish. Didn't get a crack in the defense. Didn't get a good shot off.
So another sub for Westhill, number 13, Joey Hamaki. So they have replaced all of their starters within the first 5 minutes as we have 2:58 left to go here in the first. I'm just intrigued by that. Kind of want to see why. Of course, as a guy who needs to know the numbers, it's a little challenging for me. So that's Hamaki, sorry. That's Rojas. Again, he had 10 the other night, so clearly he's productive off the bench. Anthony Stevenson kicks it out. Marcial, he also had 10 the other night. Marcial in the corner is going to launch 3. He's not going to get it. Long. Graham comes down with a rebound. So the Wildcats are ahead by 8, looking to expand that. Josh top of the key. This is Keegan Johnston. He's going to drive and shoot from the free throw line. No good. Rebound's going to be chased down by Justin Marcial. He gives it to Rojas. Back the other way come the Vikings. That's Stevenson. Back to Rojas. Keegan's going to do. Blocking foul called on Keegan Johnston.
I think his feet were moving just a bit. He was in position. One thing I do notice, Mike, early is I think our zone, and Coach Brown does an awesome job of teaching the zone, is stymieing up the team a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see if they start to crack the code and get more comfortable against the zone.
So Kevin Rojas, number 1, is going to take 2 shots here at the line for Westhill. Misses the first. Second sub for NFA. Jameer Ford's going to sit down, and number 15, Rushan Klahar, is going to check in. So Rojas is going to get a second one here to try to make this a 7-point lead. Right now the Wildcats are up by 8. Rojas, that shot's no good. Graham and Johnston in the middle for the rebound. And here come the Wildcats back the other way. This is Johnston. He's going to leave it for Josh. Javon just past the free throw line. Nice bucket for Javon Thompson, his second of the night.
He's playing well. He's coming on as of late. Tough shot in the lane.
Nice pass underneath by Westhill. Number 13, Hamaki gets that bucket. I missed the feed, but good play to get behind the zone there. 15-7, 1:23 left to go in the first quarter. Josh took a little bit extra step, although he doesn't think so. And number 3, Daquan Turner, back in for Westhill. This is Rojas. To Marcial, back to Rojas.
Travel.
Stevenson, he traveled. Third travel of the night so far. It's interesting, we have a 3-man crew tonight. I wonder if it just gets, in the second round, it expands to 3, because what they have down in, did they have 3 in Madison?
They did have 3 in Madison. I thought state tournament was always 3. Maybe at home, NFA didn't have 3 last game, or?
The girls only had 2.
2, yeah. Usually they go 3 for the state tournament.
Keegan Johnston. Just under a minute to play Rushan drives. Rushan Klahar. Nice move, nice bucket.
That's a great take, athletic move by Rushan.
17-7, 10-point lead, the biggest of the night for the Wildcats. Wow. So Konate found himself all alone on the baseline, but Graham came out of nowhere to get rid of that shot. That was impressive. All right, the shot clock is at 27, and the game clock is at 33, so there's about a 6-second differential here. I would imagine we're going to see the Wildcats take this down into single digits. Johnston, Lavoie. Josh gets blocked by Konate, but Klahar comes down with a rebound. Shot clock did not reset. It's at 9. Nice dish from Rushan to Josh underneath. That was a great play there. Klahar with some instant energy coming off the bench. The clock is at 2. That shot is up from Konate. It'd be good if it goes. It bounces out. No good. So after 1, it is 19-7 in favor of the Wildcats. Early thoughts.
You know, I think that we're more aggressive right now. I think our NFA is stronger, a little bit stronger early on. They're more aggressive. They look more confident and more comfortable. I think Westhill, and watching them warm up, I thought they were going to go a little bit bigger, but they kind of matched our size and speed. And it's going to be interesting to see how Westhill adjusts to our zone. And if we continue to get good ball movement and have the ability to attack the rim, we're getting to the rim pretty well. If we can do that and make good decisions, I think we're going to get good shots.
It is interesting. I wonder if that was part of the household substitutions to try to match, as you said, the size and the speed and take, you know, some of the big kids out, despite their success in the scorebook in the first game. So the other action happening tonight across the state, it's interesting. So Westhill comes from Stamford, so they had a 2-hour ride. And our girls team had a 2-hour ride basically to New York. They're in Ridgefield, where they, as the number 10 seed, are taking on Ridgefield, the number 7 seed, also in the second round. Should be a close game. I hope we get some updates throughout this one. NFA girls lost to Ridgefield early this year by 4 points back in December. Obviously, both teams better since then. But it would be great to get 2 teams into the quarterfinals. Our girls did make the quarterfinals last year, and boys lost a tough opening round game last year at Glastonbury, 1-point loss. But here we go, back underway. This is Rojas. That's Konate, Rojas. That's Turner. And then they got Ismaili back in, and number 23 is Aleknowicz. That's a long-range shot by Turner, no good. Javon Thompson comes down with a rebound. Javon is on the floor with Keegan Johnston, Josh Lavoie, Ethan Graham, and Carter Stringer is back in. Ethan calling for it in the corner. Josh works off a screen, gets it to Carter, long-range 3. Carter Stringer hits his first 3-point bucket of the night, and that is a good sign for him.
Great sign for Carter. He's a pure shooter. He just has to see the ball go in, and when the ball goes in, it'll go in again.
Graham on a steal and fast break. Kind of an odd-looking layup there from Ethan, but look at him on the ground trying to get the ball here. Hell of an effort from Ethan Graham. Back the other way come the Vikings. Konate gets it to Rojas, inside to Ismaili. Tries to make a move, loses the handle, but Konate's right there to pick it up. Konate gets Stringer in the air, just inside the line, but that 2-pointer's no good. Javon comes down with a rebound. 6:43 left to go in the first half, 22-7 Wildcats. Carter lines up again. That one's long, but Lavoie gets the weak side rebound. Smallest man on the court. Keegan Johnson lost his long-range 3. Javon with the rebound. Back to Keegan. Shot clock had reset, so we're just under 30. And here comes Westhill back the other way. In the corner, that's Turner. Nice drive. Javon gets him going the other way, and here comes Johnston for Lavoie, for Carter, and they're going to have to pull it out. Keegan's going to launch 3 from the right side. No good. Rebound pulled down by Thompson, and he's going to be fouled there by Taha Ismaili. That's going to be his first. That was just a hustle play.
Javon Thompson is doing all the little things right now. He got a couple rebounds. He made a couple good passes down there. He's showing his senior leadership. He's showing good decision making. He's playing to win. He's making winning plays.
So as Molly sits down with that foul, and number 15, Joel Morris, comes in for the Vikings. And Jameer Ford checks back in for the Wildcats. He's going to replace Keegan Johnston.
Jameer Ford was on the bench for a little while, it seemed.
I think it was about the last 4 minutes of the first, and Coach Brown isn't going to go incredibly deep tonight, I don't think. 7 or 8 maybe, and we'll see. He's already 2 deep into the bench with Johnston and Clayhar coming in. Lavoie gets the hoop. No foul, no basket, no rebound, and here come the Vikings back the other way. Kanate, Morris, Daquan Turner, nice bucket there, and he's going to go to the line after drawing a foul.
Josh Lavoie will keep attacking. He did a great job against Madison. He likes to go left a lot. He draws a lot of contact. With 3 officials, we hope we can get a call and get to the line again. As you know, Mike, they get 2 free throws once they get in the bonus.
Very true. So the first shot is up and no good by Daquan Turner. So far early on, Westhill is 0 for 3 from the free throw line. Ethan Graham takes a seat, and Jayandre Pontus comes in, number 13. A little bit of size for NFA. Second shot from Turner is good. That's their first point of the second quarter, and it's 22-8, a 14-point lead for the Wildcats with 5:18 left to go in the first half. Westhill still in a man-to-man. Pontes, Lavoie, Javon Thompson, nice drive. I tell you, you were right about him. The kid is playing hard. He's got 7 early points for the Wildcats.
Got great poise, great decision-making in this game, really playing like a senior.
And he's joined on the court by his brother, Jayandre. Wow, so there's Aleknowicz for his first 3-pointer of the night. The kid was bombing on pregame, so no surprise there. He cuts it to 13 now, 24-11. Pontes to Stringer. Jameer Ford. Shot clock inside of 20. No rush. Game clock, 4:25 left to go in the first half. Seem a little bit out of sorts here, going back and forth. Lavoie directing traffic as the shot clock's now at 8.
There's the foul.
Josh draws a foul.
Josh is going to get to his spots. He's going to draw contact. He's strong. He's a good decision maker. As those fouls add up, it's going to be to NFA's favor.
Dalton Aleknowicz picked up his first. He's also going to sit down. Number 2, Zachary Evans was a starter. He's back into the game for the Vikings. Carter Stringer is going to inbound the ball for NFA. That's to Thompson, to Ford. Jameer trying to make some action, works off a Pontes screen, launches his own 3, and Jameer buries his second 3 of the night. He's got 6 points, and the Wildcats have a 16-point lead. Interesting to see what's going to happen here with Westhill. I just don't feel like they've had any continuity at all, especially with the heavy substitutions. I think Coach Nieves may be trying to find a combination that works. Lavoie on the floor, gets it up to Jameer. Jameer's going to go to the line.
Great hustle play by Josh Lavoie. He gets on the floor, has the wherewithal to grab the ball and throw that pitch ahead early to Jameer. Jameer used his body's athletic ability to draw contact and get the foul.
What I liked about it is Jameer went ahead. He didn't wait. It's almost like he knew Josh was going to get it, and if he did, he was going to be able to take advantage of that. We have a timeout on the court called by Westhill. What does Coach Nieves say in this huddle when he's down 16 points midway through the second quarter?
I think he's got to figure out a better way, or the team's got to figure out a better way to follow his game plan in terms of attacking the zone and getting in rhythm and getting better shots, and maybe go inside a little bit. They're settling for certain contested mid-range and threes, and then defensively, they got to wall up a little bit more. NFA's getting to their spots. They're getting good dribble penetration, and Westhill has to figure out how to keep the offense in front of them and not have blow-bys.
It's interesting. I think the one that is curious to me is Molly, number 24. I mean, he was their leading scorer in the Southington game. He's the biggest man on the court when he's out there, and it just doesn't seem when he's been in there that they have any continuity with him. So we'll see. Yep. Long way to go. I mean, this is by no means a lot of basketball left.
No doubt.
Jameer Ford is going to find himself at the line for 2 shots. Jameer has 6 points already, both of them coming from 3-point buckets. And he is going to look to extend our lead from 16 and beyond. Coach Nieves getting a little bit of a conversation here with an official. I don't know if we only had 4 on the floor for Westhill. I think they're trying to get the sub in at the table, but that can't happen until after the first shot. So Jameer's first one is in and out. Sub here, this is number 14, Justin Marcial. He's back in for the Vikings. Jameer's second shot is good. It gives him 7 for the night, and it gives us a 17-point lead, 28-11, with 3:30 left to go in the half. Coming up at halftime, I am expected to have a special guest, KJ Donovan, the athletic trainer here at NFA. Be curious to hear what KJ has to say. March is National Athletic Training Month, so a good time to throw the spotlight on KJ. Shot clock is in single digits. Turner drives the lane, runs into a host of Wildcats, so we'll see who's going to get the foul here. Looks like it's going to be Ford. I believe if I can see that far, it is the first on Jameer Ford.
You know, Mike, the genius behind Coach Brown's zone is you think it's a zone, then you think it's a man, and then you're not sure what it is. You know, those matchup principles that he's drilled into his players they're really confusing Westhill right now.
So Turner is at the line. He was 1 of 2 prior to that one, so he makes the first. He makes the second. So Daquan Turner, 3 of 4 from the line, 5 total points to lead the way so far for the Vikings, who trail by 15, 28-13 with 3:07 left. Lavoie, he's going against Evans. This is Jameer. Tries to work off a Graham screen, but gets run to the baseline, gets it back to Ethan. Shot clock's at 9. Ethan a fadeaway, no good. Keegan, follow, no good. Rebound into the hands of Daquan Turner, gets it up to Kanate, and the Vikings settle in for offense on this side. Travel violation on number 20, Anthony Stevenson. Turned the ball over to NFA. Kevin Rojas checks back in for Westhill. He wears number 1. He's going to replace Zachary Evans.
Starting to deny Josh Lavoie the ball. They're face guarding him right now off the ball here. See if they don't want him to get any touches.
Thompson at the top took the feed from Ford, trying to find it, get in the hands of Josh, unable to do so. Graham, Ford. Shot clock's at 12. Jameer's going to drive. Wow. I don't even know what to call that shot, except pretty. Wildcats extend their lead to 17, 1:54 left to go in the first half. Westhill's got some work to do. The number 20, Anthony Stevenson's going to find himself at the line after being fouled by Javon Thompson.
Last couple possessions, it seems like Westhill's done a better job of getting into the teeth of the defense, collapsing that zone, getting some dribble penetration, and drawing fouls. NFA has to continue to fight against that.
Stevenson misses the first. Klahar checks back in for NFA. He's going to replace Javon Thompson. Some great minutes early on from Javon. 7 points here in the first half. So we have 1 left for Stevenson. He's trying to make this a 16-point game. That shot is no good. We had an inadvertent horn, and here we go. NFA up the other way. This is Ford to Graham. Ball in Lavoie's hands. He did not touch it on the last possession. Johnston. Keegan's going to try to make a move into the lane. He's going to kick it back out to Ethan. Back to Johnston. Shot clock's at 10. Trying to figure out what's happening here for the Wildcats. Shot clock at 2. They're not going to get one off. Lavoie managed to, does hit the rim. Tough possession there for NFA. Back the other way comes Westhill. Stevenson, he's got Johnston on him. That's Rojas. Lavoie steals it from Rojas. Josh draws the contact. Shot is up and good, but they're going to call it on the floor. I think that's the right call.
Yeah, definitely. Josh has been a menace on defense. Not only did he get another steal, he was able to again draw contact and draw another foul. He's a tough kid, strong kid.
58 seconds left to go in the half. That foul was on Kanate, which is his second. Nobody's shooting. Ismaili comes back in. Taha, number 24. He replaces Stevenson. And Johnston is going to inbound the ball with a full shot clock here for NFA. Keegan gets it to Josh. Plahar. He's going to drive. Nice athletic move. Shot was rejected, but he was fouled beforehand, although Westhill disagrees with that. It's the 5th team foul for them, so he's shooting no matter what here.
He's another sophomore for NFA that has a big upside. That's the second good move he's made this game. He's athletic, he's long, got a lot of potential.
Quick. It seems like that first step for him is really fast. So he buries the first one. NFA's only been to the line. This will be the 4th shot. Jameer's 1 of 2, and so far Rushan's 1 of 1. And he's 1 of 2. Ismaili comes down with the rebound. He's pestered quite a bit, and look at it, Plahar. Coach Brown gets a timeout. I see more and more of that where coaches are coming to the rescue of their players, particularly in that case where he had most likely was looking at a traveling violation.
Yeah, big possession to get before the half. You get a chance to go on offense again. Unfortunately for NFA, they didn't have the arrow pointing their way, so they would have had it anyway, but Coach Brown certainly couldn't see that in the heat of the moment.
Right, and it's, you know, like you said, it's 31-13.
Right.
And, you know, I think if you get, 18 is significant. There's still a lot of basketball left. And obviously we came out, our shooting percentage has got to be super strong. Obviously a much better start than what they had the other night down in Madison. So we'll see what happens for these last 43 seconds.
Unofficially / officially, according to my stats, we're about 5 for 9 from 3. I could be off 1 or 2.
Well,
but
greater than 50% is, you'll take that every time.
Every time.
All right, inbound play coming here from Ford. He's having trouble, actually, and Johnson comes back to save it. Shot clock's at 31, game is at 40, so there's about a 9-second differential. So Westhill should get the ball back. I would assume that NFA is going to try to milk this clock down a little bit before they take a shot. But I've been wrong on that many times, especially when Ethan Graham has a fall away and he buries it.
Great pass by Keegan Johnson, another senior making a heady play. He's smart with the ball. He's tough with the ball. It's a great pass by him. And a tough Dirk Nowitzki finish by Ethan Graham.
Game clock's at 10. Zachary Evans' shot is no good. Lavoie's got a chance here. We're at 6. A pass to Keegan, no good. Ethan follow, and he's going to get to the line.
Great pass by Josh. Just missed the layup that happens, but there's Ethan Graham there once again, grabbing a rebound, doing all the little things, doing the dirty work.
And Ethan's going to get himself to the line. He's got 7 points tonight, 2 field goals and a 3-pointer, so 3 field goals. And I tell you, this kid has made a difference since he's been a regular contributor since his freshman year. Heck of an athletic family. His sister Hannah is at Yale for track and field. She's an incredible discus thrower and shot put thrower and hammer thrower. One of 4 kids from NFA that ended up on the Division I route last year. If I remember the other 3. We had a softball player go to Quinnipiac.
Soccer player. We had a soccer player, I think, too.
Yeah, soccer player, Julian Ballister's at Providence.
Right.
And, wow, we're going to get another one out of that. We are not. So, halftime, 33-13 Wildcats. I tell you, it almost feels like a little quiet in here. Despite the fact that we're up 20, a little subdued. We feel like we're waiting for more things to explode, but a great first half here for NFA. And KJ Donovan, our athletic trainer, is making her way up. We're going to talk to her for a little bit, and then Anthony and I are going to come back and analyze the first half a little bit. And, we'll see how it goes. But it's a good start for NFA, and our cheerleaders are out doing a little bit of a thing now. KJ is just about here. and we're going to learn more about what the head athletic trainer does during athletic training month. Joining me in the booth, high above courtside, head athletic trainer for NFA, KJ Dunn.
What's up, Mike?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Happy National Athletic Trainer Month.
Thank you very much.
So let's. What are the obvious things what do people automatically assume that you do? What are the obvious things?
People assume we just tape and hand out water. We're
Right.
glorified water boys. That's the biggest assumption.
But it is so far beyond that. So what is there a typical day?
Every day's different. Most of the time, my typical day starts with doing administrative tasks like paperwork. Then we get into pre-practice treatments, make sure the kids are ready to go. Go to practices. I kind of walk around practices every so often just to make sure everything's going well. Then you got post-practice treatment, and then it's back to administrative tasks.
So a kid gets hurt, and then a kid goes to a doctor and comes back from that doctor with a plan? And then how do you work within, when somebody goes down with a knee injury, when do you come into the mix?
So typically if they go down with an injury during the game, I'm usually the first person to assess it. From that point on, if the treatment that we're doing within the first couple of days isn't really progressing or improving the injury, I help coordinate appointments with providers, whether it's an orthopedic, a neurologist, whoever it needs to be. And then from there, I talk directly with the providers to determine what type of care we have to provide and what treatment. And I work closely with the providers to kind of help them get into PT or start PT early while they wait, things like that.
And then are you consulting with the family at that point too? Are you basically, has it been handed off from the provider to you to communicate with the family?
So typically I communicate with the family throughout. So before I can even reach out to a provider, the parents are typically already aware of the injury.
Okay.
They're aware of kind of what treatment we've already been providing to the patient, as well as why we're actually referring them out. But once we start doing treatment in the athletic training room, the parents are kind of in the loop on that as well.
So do you travel?
It depends on which season we're talking about. So when we're in the fall season, I typically do travel with football just due to the numbers.
Right.
Leaving one athletic trainer with over 200 athletes is pretty rough to do.
Right.
So typically football I'll travel. I don't usually travel with other teams until we get into conference games or state games.
Okay. Because you have there's less stuff going on, basically.
There's less stuff going on, but then we can also kind of cater to those athletes a little bit more and make sure that they're really ready to go.
Right.
Plus, if we just have practices, we can kind of coordinate accordingly.
What's the most misunderstood thing about what you do? Maybe not misunderstood. What's the thing that you do probably more than anything that nobody really realizes you do?
I turn into a therapist quite a bit, actually.
Well, I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
So I would say you are arguably the most respected or most well-liked adult on this campus.
Oh, well, that's a huge compliment.
I think that's fair. I mean, the kids, I've been down to your office at the end of the day. There's 14 kids in there, and they're all healthy. So can you talk more about that part of the job?
So the biggest part of the reason I got into my profession is because I used to be one of those athletes where I was always in there. I kind of had that rapport with my athletic trainer. And she helped me through a lot of different things, whether it was something that was going on in my personal life or if it was just more so physically too.
Right.
And so building that rapport with the athletes is a really good thing for me, and I really enjoy it because it shows the athletes I care more than just, all right, I just want to get you fixed and get you out the door. I want them to know that it is a safe space to come in and talk, because what a lot of people don't realize is as much as the physical part matters about being on whatever playing surface you're on,
right,
the mental portion also comes down to it. And whether that's the mental portion in regards to the sport you're playing, or if it's just mentally with school or at home,
right,
whatever the case may be, it all plays into the same kind of role for that kid.
So, but I want to know then so you have amazing relationships with these kids. They look up to you, they trust you, say whatever positive thing you want to say. You're the person that tells them you're not going back in.
Yes.
So how does that go? That can't always be fun.
No, they do. So they come to me, they feel comfortable with me, but they do understand that there is that line of I still have a job to do.
Right.
And I'm still an athletic trainer that I have to keep their safety first. So typically when that happens, it comes down to having a real conversation and explaining the reason why that they're not going back in. Whether that's a safety concern or say it's a game where we're up by a lot and the game's almost done, what benefit do we have of putting you back in when we have other games for the rest of the season? A lot of the athletes see more of the acute picture of I want to play, I want to play, I want to play, but I try to kind of open their eyes up a little bit to see, hey,
tomorrow.
Exactly. We have more in the season than just right now in this moment.
How does that go?
There's usually a lot of pushback. And it ultimately does come down to me saying, listen, you're not going back in.
Right.
I've had situations where I've taken football, for example, I've walked around with a kid's helmet, and just because they've really wanted to go back in. But the other part of it is I communicate that with my coaches really well, and I also talk to the parents and say, listen, I can't put them back in due to X, Y, and Z.
Right.
We can move forward tomorrow and see where we're at for next week or the next game and go from there, and we'll take it day by day. And that's what it comes down to.
All right, I have one final question. So does Westhill have a trainer here tonight?
To my knowledge, no.
So what is your role with Westhill?
Same thing as if it were any of my kids. I try to treat all the visiting teams equally, and I know that's across the board with all athletic trainers. I always introduce myself to their coaching staff. I let them know if an injury does happen on the court. I'll go out, I'll assess it, I'll touch base with them and keep them updated.
Right.
And then, especially with a team like Westhill where they're so far away from home,
right.
Not all the parents can make it on that drive. So I always try to communicate with the parents as well via phone just to keep them updated.
Right.
Because that's the other thing is those parents are watching from home on our cameras and Huddle or whatever the platform is, and they might be like, well, why is my kid not in? And they might start worrying. So again, I treat the visiting team just like I would treat any of our kids.
Well, and our girls team is in Ridgefield. Obviously, you're not there, so the assumption is that your colleague at Ridgefield is there.
Yes.
And if one of our players goes down, the same thing happens.
Same thing.
I love it.
Yep.
KJ, thank you. Good stuff. Happy National Athletic Trainer Month.
Thank you so much.
Very much appreciate you coming up here. And we are going to get Anthony back on the mic here to talk about the first half and then preview the second half in what is a very positive result so far for the Wildcats with a 20-point lead at halftime. Anthony, let's just run down the scores real quick for Westhill. Hamaki had 3 points apiece from Aleknowicz and Kanate, and leading the way for Westhill with 5 points was Daquan Turner. For NFA, Rushan Kahar had 3 off the bench, Carter Stringer had 3, Josh Lavoie 4 points, 7 apiece from Javon Thompson and Ethan Graham, and leading the way with 9 points, Jameer Ford. So let's put you inside of both locker rooms. If you are Coach Brown with a 20-point lead at halftime, what are you telling your team?
Well, I'm telling my team, first 5 minutes are the most important minutes of the game of the second half. If Westhill is going to make a run, they're going to throw as many punches as they can, so to speak, to get back into the game. They may press. They're going to be aggressive. They're going to try to be disruptive. And if we can withstand that a little bit and stay calm and continue to make good decisions and not get caught up in an erratic play, we should be in good position.
So if you're Coach Nieves, you're going into the locker room, you're down 20. What are you telling your team
probably,
from that perspective?
Probably not a quiet locker room at that point. I can't speak on his behalf, but certainly with 12 seniors, I think you alluded to.
Yep.
This is their last hurrah, and they're going to have to show some more fight and more resiliency and try to make something happen and go out and make something happen in the first few minutes of the second half.
So as I said earlier, this is round 2 of the Division II CIAC tournament. So the winner of this game will play the winner of Innovations and Cheney Tech, who tips off at 7 o'clock tonight. So we probably won't have much information on that game before we leave you tonight. But whoever wins here is going on the road for the quarterfinals, because both of those teams are higher seeds than either of these teams. So for the Wildcats, we have the original starting lineup: Jameer Ford, Javon Thompson, Carter Stringer, Ethan Graham, and Josh Lavoie. We are waiting for the Vikings to break the huddle and find out who's coming out for Westhill.
You know, interestingly, Mike, we only had 2 turnovers in the first half. If we have to continue to take care of the ball.
That's
Conversely, Westhill had 7. So let's see if that remains the same.
So for Westhill, number 1, Kevin Rojas, number 3, Daquan Turner, number 20, Anthony Stevenson, number 11, Abdul Kanate, and number 24, Taha Ismaili. NFA with the basketball, starting the second half with a 20-point lead. This is Lavoie. I missed that one, but it's a foul on Ethan Graham. So
that was a phantom
first foul
screen.
on Ethan Graham. Yeah, that
you
was,
missed it because there wasn't much there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Rojas. This is Kanate. Cheerleaders, student section into this game a little bit. Good to see Westhill brought their cheerleaders along, and both squads got together at halftime. That's always good to see. Shot clock now. Oh, shot clock is off, so nobody seems to have noticed this. I'm not sure if it's on this side. We can't see it, but on this basket, there was no shot clock, which is intriguing. There was an NFA foul on the play. It was on Graham, so he's picked up 2 inside a minute. And it's going to put Anthony Stevenson at the line for 2 free throws. He was at the line for 2 in the first half. He missed them both. So in the first 36 seconds, Graham picks up 2 fouls. Stevenson makes his first. And we now have ourselves a 19-point game.
Something to watch with Ethan Graham. He can't get his 3rd foul. He's too valuable to the team. He's going to have to be smart.
Stevenson makes both after missing a pair in the first half, and you're not kidding. The defense they're playing on Josh, they just don't want him to get the ball. And Kanate, speaking of 3rd fouls, he picks up his 3rd foul, although they only have it on 2 on the board, so I've missed one somewhere. So we're going to say Kanate has 2, and we'll figure it out as we go. 33-15, 7:15 left in the third. Wildcats with an 18-point lead, looking to get it back to 20. Ethan's going to drive and leave it for Jameer. A little runner, floats that through the lane. Jameer Ford.
That's an elite shot, Mike. That's a tough shot to make in the lane.
Going left, using the right hand, a lot going on there. Kanate loses the dribble. This is Rojas. Stevenson and Ismaili on the inside. They're having trouble getting the ball to Taha. Kick out. Stevenson's going to launch 3. He's going to miss. The rebound is going to come down to Westhill. It's going to get inside to Ismaili. And Turner tries to do a reverse, no good. Stevenson, rebound shot, no good. Graham pulls down the rebound. Huge opportunity there for Westhill. Few different shots, unable to capitalize on either one of them. And as you mentioned, the first 5 minutes are important. In the first 2 minutes, they only have 2 points. Jameer Ford, Josh Lavoie. He thought about 3. Graham, Stringer, he'll launch 3. Carter, no good, back iron. Jameer tries to keep it alive. Off of Jameer, Westhill basketball.
One thing to keep our eyes on is NFA has 2 early turnovers. They only had 2 in the first half. Let's make sure, we have to make sure they take care of the ball and don't get any blocking or charging or pick and roll fouls.
So 2 early turnovers and 2 early fouls on Ethan Graham. Stevenson sits down for Westhill. He's replaced by 14, Justin Marcial has the ball right there, who drives on Thompson. Nice move there from Marcial, who had 10 points in their upset win over Southington. And now it's an 18-point game, 35-17. Thompson drives the lane but kicks out to Stringer, to Graham. Ethan's going to launch 3. He's going to get 3. That's the thing about the kid, inside, outside. He doesn't throw up a bad shot.
Tough shot going left to hit a 3 off the move. That's a very difficult shot.
Turner inside to Ismaili, and Thompson got a hand on it. Outside 3-point shot by Marcial, no good. Ethan to Josh, and here come the Wildcats. You almost see Josh trying to create some contact there. Stringer, ball knocked right back to him. Javon, offensive foul, no good. Javon down on the floor. Good sportsmanship from Westhill, but Javon is struggling on this one, and KJ Donovan is out to the court. Strong move. Banked the shot, but referees call the offensive foul. Coach Brown, I think, is coming to see his player and coming to get an explanation from the refs at the same time.
Hopefully he just got the wind knocked out of him or got startled and didn't land awkwardly on his wrist or his knee.
Looks like he's starting to come around and getting some updates from the road after one in Ridgefield. NFA 8, Ridgefield 7. So that's a good start for the Wildcats on the road. In that game falling already, just if you project scores, NFA typically scores for between 40 and 45 points a game, and they play strong defense as well. So on this side, Thompson is off the court, and KJ Donovan is going to attend to him now and see what's happening there. He's been replaced by Rushan Kahar, and also Keegan Johnson checks back in for Carter Stringer. We are back underway with 4:50 left to go in the third. The Wildcats ahead 38-17. This is Rojas. Rushan giving him fits. Ball gets inside to Marcial. He's made a big difference here already here in the second half. He's got 4, going to the basket very aggressively there for the Vikings. Lavoie, speaking of going aggressively, is going to draw the foul on Rojas. It just seems like Josh knows how to draw that contact.
He gets to his spots. He loves to go left. He's strong. He's low to the ground. He's centered. One of the concerns NFA has to have right now is Westhill is collapsing their defense. That's 2 layups in a row. They're going to have to help, and they're going to have to recover and still contest any shot that's inside.
So more substitutions here for the Vikings. Kanate's in. Aleknowicz is in. He and Jameer Ford are getting to know each other here underneath. Nice play, Graham from Johnson. Easy layup there on the blob.
Great pass and by Johnson, and way to get separation in space by Ethan Graham as well. Two people made that play.
So simple, but it was so effective. Josh picks up his first foul away from the basket, trying to pick the pocket of Rojas. That's the 4th foul on NFA, so we're going to see Westhill at the free throw line the rest of this third quarter, which is probably not something that Coach Brown was interested in. That bucket is made by Daquan Turner. Nice move on the baseline. Makes it a 40-21 game. Wildcats ahead by 19. We are halfway through the third. 3-pointer from Stringer. Carter right in front of his own bench. Knocks home his second 3 of the night. And it's back up to a 22-point lead.
Big answer by Carter Stringer.
Rojas kicks it out to Kanate. His 3, no good. Wow, Turner up over everybody for that rebound and the follow. Nice move there, Daquan Turner.
That's the 8th point, Mike, for Westhill in the paint in the first 5 minutes of the second half.
I think we're drawing a foul here on Kanate, which this one has got to be his 3rd. Abdul is not happy about it, having a conversation with the official. It's going to be a one-sided conversation, clearly. So he sits down with 3. Stevenson comes back in. Aleknowicz goes out, and it's a travel on Graham. 3:24 left to go in the third quarter, 43-23. That's your Wildcats holding a 20-point lead here, more than halfway through the third quarter. That's Evans, that's Marcial. He's had a great start to this third quarter working on Graham. Ethan somehow is able to tip that ball. Shot clock's at 15 now. Turner's going to drive. Turner's going to draw the foul.
Turner was out of control there. Although there was contact, it could have been easily a travel.
So that foul, I believe, is on Ethan Graham, who has picked up 3 here in the third quarter. Ethan's going to take a seat, and Jay Andre Pontes is going to check in for him. And Daquan Turner is going to go to the line for 2 shots. He, so far tonight, is 3 for 4 from the stripe. That shot is good. Turner buries both. He's 5 of 6 from the line. It is a 18-point lead for NFA with 3 minutes left to go in the third. So we've played 5 minutes in the second half. How would you judge this first 5 minutes from Westhill?
Westhill is definitely more aggressive. They're getting into the paint
And
more
they're making
easily.
Steals right there, and they're going to draw a foul on NFA. It's going to stay here. Westhill ball, I believe that's going to be on Jameer.
Westhill has definitely ramped up their energy and their intent on offense, and they're trying to be very physical on defense, and they're on the line early. Something to watch.
So Rojas, who missed his first 2 attempts, make that his first 3 attempts.
He does get an extra one, though.
Student section giving him the business. Maybe that's what he needed. He makes 1 out of 2. And Marcial is going to the bench. And I believe Aleknowicz is back in for NFA. For Westhill. It's a 17-point Wildcat lead with 2:40 to go in the third, 43-26. Lavoie's got Rojas on him. Josh thinks second of trying to drive on Rojas. Out to Johnston. Keegan back to Lavoie. Lavoie drives. Lavoie stuck. Stringer. Ford. Shot clock at 4. Somebody's got to put up a shot. Jameer, another runner. That's no good. Rebound Vikings, and here they come, trying to make this a 15-point game. They're unable to do so.
Although NFA didn't get a great shot, Jameer certainly had to make something at the end of the shot clock. I do like that possession. They were trying to attack. They're still sharing the ball, and they're staying within the game plan.
So Coach Brown brings Ethan back in with 3 fouls here with 2 minutes left to go in the third. An interesting move. We'll see how that pans out. Wow, Johnson finds Ethan. Shot blocked by Zachary Evans, and here come the Vikings the other way. Nice move there, but shot's no good, but the rebound was put in by Evans, and it's back to a 15-point game. Keegan in the corner, that three's in and out. Just feels a little sloppier right now for NFA. Not as much continuity as we had in the first. Long 3 there from Aleknowicz. That's no good. Stringer clears. You can see Josh just taking a breath, calming everybody down right now. The lead is still 15. There's just over a minute left to go in the third. So it was a 20-point lead at the half, so Westhill has cut into this lead by 5 as of right now. Graham's shot no good. Aleknowicz comes down with a rebound, and here come the Vikings trying to get it to a 13-point game. There's a 20-second differential between the game and the shot. Turner buries a 3, and now we're at 12, 43-31. How are the Wildcats going to respond here in the final 20 seconds on the shot clock here? Lavoie's going to drive. Josh is going to get to the line.
Great take by Josh Lavoie, getting to the paint, getting to his spot, going right this time to draw the foul. The possession before, he also got the paint, made a great pass to the corner for a 3. Again, the concern for the Wildcats is that Westhill is still getting into the paint, and now as the defense collapsed, they're pitching out for 3s, and Westhill made a big 3 in the corner as well.
So what was a 20-point lead at the half is currently a 12-point lead. Josh misses the first, which is a rare occurrence. He made 10 in a row in the game against Hand the other night. Coach Brown told me he made 3 before that, so he actually had made 13 in a row prior to that one. Have any idea what the consecutive free throw record is here for NFA? I know the number. I don't know the person, but I know the number.
What's the number?
23. 23. 44-31. Wildcats have a 13-point lead with 24 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Westhill has done a great job to cut into a 20-point lead, and they have a chance here to get a final shot to whittle it down even more and make our fourth quarter more interesting. And Anthony Stevenson walks right in. Clock's now at 5. Are we going to get a shot off? Josh is going to drive. He's going to kick it to Carter for a 3. No good. Wow. 44-33 at the end of 3. If we score that by quarter, that would be 20 for Westhill and 11 for your Wildcats.
You know, Westhill has to be very pleased with that quarter, getting it down to almost a 10-point lead. They were aggressive. They continue to get in the paint. They continue to finish, and they've ramped up their defense as well. NFA is playing well. They've been unlucky. They've missed a few open shots. They've drawn some good fouls. You knew Westhill was going to make a run. Every team, state tournament time, 12 seniors knew they were going to make a run. NFA has to come out now. This quarter, the first 2-3 minutes of this quarter is very important for NFA to make a stand and to push that lead up again.
So early on, and you talked about the first 5 minutes of the third quarter, I would have said the Wildcats were doing fine in the first 5 minutes. It really seemed in the last 3 minutes of that half, or that period, where Westhill really started to gain some traction. You mentioned that 3 in the corner, a couple shots at the line, and they were able to get to the hoop, and they're doing this without their big guy. So maybe we're starting to finally see what Coach Nieves was trying to do, get a smaller, scrappier team on the court here to try to make a difference. And you can't argue with it after the results of the third quarter. So it's 44-33 Wildcats. This is Rojas. He's got Kanate, Turner, Evans, and Aleknowicz. The Wildcats have Lavoie, Graham, Ford, Johnston, and Stringer. Daquan Turner out to Kanate. Oh, that 3 was down, and it managed to come out. And they're going to call a jump ball, which is going to go to NFA. That's a tough break for Westhill. That ball was halfway down.
Yeah, it was down. It was a good shot. It was a good look. And I think one of the reasons Coach Brown's going back to Ethan with 3 fouls is we're getting beat on the boards right now. We're getting beat inside. He's going to need his size.
This is Johnston taking over some of the duties at the point as Westhill's been all over Lavoie. A good sign going to the scorer's table is Javon Thompson, who went down with an injury earlier in the third quarter. Keegan Johnston hits nothing on that 3-point attempt. We've played 44 seconds, and neither team has scored. As the Wildcats cling to an 11-point lead. Right. So Thompson is back in, looks healthy after that scare a little bit earlier. Turner uses the body to get through, but that shot is no good. Thompson tried to bounce it off. The Westhill player was unable to do so. 7:06 to go in the ballgame. Wildcats with an 11-point lead. Westhill inbounds with 25 seconds left on the shot clock. Rojas has Stringer. That's Kanate. Marcial, Aleknowicz, and Turner are in the game for the Vikings. Kanate throws it right into the hands of an anticipatory Carter Stringer. And here we go the other way. Wildcats need a bucket.
They got to get something going to the rim, Mike. You know, they're settling a little bit. They're trying to get some action, go to the rim, draw a foul, get a layup.
There's Josh almost on command for his 6th and 7th point of the night. Push the lead back to 13. Trying to get the lead to 10 is Daquan Turner. Buries his second 3 of the half. Westhill quickly calls a timeout with the lead now down to 10.
Westhill has made a decision, clearly. They're not going away.
Right.
They've battled back into this game. Credit to the coaching staff and to their players. They've been aggressive on offense. They've been solid on defense. And our team's going to have to respond in the next 2 or 3 minutes and try to get that lead pushed back up again.
So what do you, if you're Westhill, are you now playing this game in 2-minute increments? Are you playing this in 1-minute increment? Are you just playing this possession at a time? Like, obviously they don't need a 3, but they're getting 3s in their offense. But how are they looking at this with 6:25 left to go? Where do they want to be at 4 minutes?
Yeah, if I'm Westhill, I'm saying, listen, they're starting to crack a little bit here. Let's put the heat on them, on NFA. Let's get this thing down to 4. If we get the score down to 4 points, anything can happen. Let's put the pressure back on NFA right now. And NFA's starting to feel it a little bit, so they're going to have to respond.
Let's see. Lavoie's going to drive to the hoop.
Great
That's
take.
one way to respond right there.
Two big takes by Josh Lavoie. Playing like an upperclassman. He's a sophomore, but he's playing like a senior right now.
12-point lead for the Wildcats. Kanate fakes the 3. In and out off the glass, and it remains a 12-point lead here. Carter Stringer trying to draw some contact from Turner. Lavoie. Josh trying to figure out his next move here. He gets caught underneath, gets it back to Graham. And a 4. The shot clock's at 14. Plenty of time here for the Wildcats. 5:35 left to go in the game. Shot clock's at 6. Josh is going to drive, spin, shoot, score.
Josh Lavoie's taking over this game.
He certainly has on the last 3 possessions.
Great patience on offense by NFA, getting 2 feet to the paint, trying to get the defense to collapse and being sound with the ball.
What was a 10-point lead is now a 14-point lead. Ball loose on the baseline. Back out to Kanate from the free throw line. That shot's no good. Graham to Lavoie.
Great job by Jameer Ford running him off the three-point line. You don't want to give him a three-pointer right now.
Under 5 minutes to play, 14-point lead. Lavoie looking for 4 in a row, and he's going to go to the line. That foul is going to be on Rojas, which is going to be his 4th, and Josh is going to get himself 2 shots at the line. So is it like hot hand right now? You know, do his teammates need to sort of realize what they've seen the last 4 possessions and give Josh the ball?
You know, I think they're playing so unselfish, and they're trying to find each other, and I think their ball just found Josh at the right place at the right time, and he's getting more and more confident that he can get in the lane and finish or make the right pass. So I love the poise NFA has right now. They're really maturing before our eyes.
So Josh only had 4 in the first half, and he's already got 8 here in the second half. Make that, stays at 8. Makes 1 of 2. Westhill rebound, 15-point lead now, 51-36 with 4:40 left to go in the game. Turner to Aleknowicz. He's going to find himself at the line.
No reason for NFA to give up transition layup there. It was a foul shot. The defense should have been back. They should have been set.
And it's the 4th foul on Ethan Graham.
And that's a big one.
So what do you do now with Coach Brown with 4.5 left? Do you let him ride this out a little bit? Do you try to take him out to get him, maybe buy a minute or 2 at the bench?
15, 16-point lead, I'd take them out, try to get them to the 2.5, 3-minute mark if we can. If we hold at 15 or 16, maybe go a little bit longer. If they cut into that lead and we need to go back to Ethan, Coach Brown will make that move.
Aleknowicz misses the first. He's got 1 more here. Johnston replaced Graham. Dalton makes that shot, and that makes it 51-47. 14 points with 4:36 left to go in the ballgame.
Surprised it took this long to see full court pressure, but now they have to go to full court pressure. Let's see how NFA handles it.
Breaking news from Ridgefield, NFA girls up 19-17 at the half. So they do not handle this one well as Taha Ismaili makes the steal, and then he turns the ball over to Carter Stringer, back in the hands of Josh facing this pressure. Coach Brown called a timeout.
I like the timeout by Coach Brown. Josh looked very comfortable there. He wasn't, he was going to make the adjustment. This is a good position for NFA to break pressure, either get a layup if they have one or a good shot. If not, pull it out, use the clock a little bit, and then try to get a good shot.
So we've got ourselves a 14-point lead. It was 20 at the half. Westhill got it down to 10. We pushed it back to 14, and now here we are. So I don't know. I mean, where again, are we in chunks? Are we in minutes here at a time? Are we going to see Westhill in that pressure for the rest of the game? Presumably, right? They've got to try to force they can't let Josh walk the ball up the court and then decide he's going to drive to the basket.
Yeah, they're going to press a little bit. They're certainly going to try to force the issue, but they haven't pressed all game. I doubt, based on what I've seen, as part of their defensive identity, so they're going to have to do something outside of their comfort zone. But NFA did turn it over once. The second time they didn't. We're going to see how we handle the pressure and really work to get a good shot. If we don't get a good shot in offense, let's pull it out. NFA has to pull it out and try to use the clock a little bit. NFA has enough ball handlers. Everybody on the floor right now can handle the ball, which is a plus for NFA.
So on the floor is Stringer, Thompson, Graham, who's playing with 4 fouls, Lavoie, and Ford, the starting 5. Westhill is in a little bit of a 2-2-1 press here.
Trying to get the ball to Ethan in the middle.
Thompson, Lavoie, shot clock's at 15. Josh going to drive. He's going to pull up from just inside the free throw line. No good. Ethan can't come down with the rebound, and here comes Marcial for Westhill, coast to coast. That shot's no good, but he's going to find himself at the line. Don't believe the foul was on Graham, so that's good news. I believe it's going to go on Stringer. It is. It's his second.
I'd like to see NFA get a ball screen for one of their ball handlers. Right now, they're passing the ball around, trying to penetrate, collapse the defense without a lot of screening action. They have enough ball handlers to do that, but I think if they get a little bump on a screen, it'll create more space to get in the lane. On the other end, Westhill keeps driving the ball down the lane, and NFA's going to have to do a better job of keeping Westhill in front of them.
Marcial makes the first of 2. He makes the second of 2, and he makes it a 12-point game. 6 points for him, all in the second half. 3:46 left to go in the game.
It's a great pass.
It seems like clearly they want to try to use some clock here, unless you get a layup like that. Josh is going to find himself back at the free throw line.
I don't know. Javon Thompson just made a great decision. He went baseline with his left hand. Instead of taking a bad shot, he skipped the ball across the floor. It's a high-level pass to the wing. That got the defense rotating. They move the ball back to Josh. Defense is on the run. He gets a great take to the lane. That's just unselfish basketball right there.
I think also is that some of it, trying to take time off the clock too. I hope. Because it seems like they'd been trying to work their possessions a little bit longer on the shot clock. But, and then obviously if they get a good shot, they get a good shot, which Josh had there. Lavoie makes the first one of his 2 shots here. Uncharacteristically shooting 50% from the line, Josh Lavoie.
Big rebound by Ethan Graham.
52-39. It's a 13-point game with 3:30 left.
Here's the ball screen. Let's see if Josh can make get in the lane off this action.
Jameer inside to Ethan is battling. Shot clock is at 12. Josh is going to drive. That shot's going to be swatted away. NFA has 7 seconds left on the shot clock. 3:08 left in the game. So they've taken a chunk of time off the clock here. Let's see if they can get a good shot before the clock expires. Shot clock's at 5. Josh is going to go up. Josh is going to get it.
Big time move by Josh Lavoie. Get in the paint, get the 2 feet, slide through for the layup.
11 points here in the second half for Lavoie. He's got 15. And the lead is 15. 54-39. Turner makes something out of nothing right there. Daquan Turner, nice move. And here we go the other way with more pressure here from Westhill. The Wildcats have a 13-point lead, and then we just had dueling turnovers. Westhill caused a turnover and then gave up a turnover. And another body on the ground. Foul is on Daquan Turner. That's his second. Team's third, so Wildcats not shooting yet. So are we looking with 2:22 left? If you're Westhill, are you back? Are you in 3-point offense now, down 13, or you still got a little bit?
No, we're in three-point offense. We're in pressure defense. We're trying to scramble up NFA a little bit, get a steal, pressure the ball. If not, try to maybe even foul to get them to the line, and then push the ball as fast as you can for your first available 3 or 2-point shot attempt.
Josh takes a big breath and then tries to drive, pulls the ball out. Shot clock issue again. I can't see it on one end of the court. Presumably it's on this side. Wow, Javon Thompson there for the rebound, but can't get the follow to go. We've definitely got a shot clock issue, and this is going to come into play for Westhill because they are shooting at a clock that is not active. And that is a loose ball out of bounds coming to NFA now with 1:50 to go and a 13-point lead. They've got to take a look at that shot clock. I'm not sure how nobody knows it except us. There it is. Now it's back on. Maybe a loose connection somewhere. Do they start to foul Westhill? They've got 2 to give, or 1 to give before NFA is going to shoot no matter what. Ford. Shot clock's at 20. 1:35 left in the game. 13-point lead for NFA. Josh gets himself all the way in, and he can't get it to go, but he'll be back at the free throw line.
NFA showing great poise. You know, the ball ended up in Josh's hand, but any of the players in the team can get in the paint against Westhill right now.
Josh gets the first of his pair. His 16th point of the night.
How many in the second half, Mike?
12 in the second half.
Big second half.
And let's see if he can get back to a streak here with the free throws. He's been make one, miss one, make one, miss one, and he makes them both. So there's 1:30 left. Wildcats are up by 15. It's certainly not over, but it's certainly comfortable. That shot is no good from Westhill. Josh pulls down the rebound, and he's going to go all the way. And he's going to hand it to Javon. Javon's going to miss. Oh, Carter, whoa, nice movement there. Kanate, Stringer gets his hand on it. Carter very active. He's going to draw the foul, and Juan Rangel's going to find himself at the line. It's going to be the third foul on Carter Stringer.
Well, it looks like it was a good move by Coach Brown going to Ethan Graham with 3 fouls. It paid off, and Ethan was smart, stayed on the ground, kept his hands up, didn't get that 4th foul, which was a real critical point for the game.
And I don't think he's scored since he's been back in, but there's just a sense of ease here. Oh, nice move here from Coach Brown. He's going to replace Stringer with Evan Gelati, who is a senior who just doesn't get a lot of playing time, and the fans love this. And this is their last home game. They will not play at home the rest of the way. So for Evan to get in and get a minute here and in this playoff atmosphere, pretty awesome move there from Coach Brown. Rangel makes 1 of 2, and it's a 14-point lead. So now the question is, are the Wildcats going to try to get the ball to number 23 so Evan can find himself in the scorebook? Lavoie is going to drive. He's going to kick it back to Evan, who zigged when he should have zagged. 51 seconds left, 14-point lead for NFA.
I think Josh had his mind made up. He was going to try to give him the
Yeah,
ball.
they want him to score. There's no question about that. That's a long 3 from Westhill, no good. Graham comes down with a rebound. No rush here. 39 seconds. I think the rush is going to be, can you get Evan the ball to score? That might be the only thing they're going to do. The shot clock's at 23. They're going to give Evan the ball at the top of the key. Shot clock's at 14. Looks like we're just going to spread it out here. Trying to find an opportunity for Evan to take a shot. Unselfish player. Shot clock's at 2.
You got to shoot it.
He's going to throw it up.
Fade away.
I think the officials blew it off anyway, but nice opportunity there.
Good looking shot. Good
Evan
looking shot.
Gelati. So there's 6 seconds left in this game, and the Wildcats are going to advance to the quarterfinals of the Division II tournament, which is an amazing situation for Coach Brown and this team.
Big time win, Coach Brown in NFA. Year 2 for Coach Brown. Works hard with his players, has great relationships, got a great senior leadership, got some younger players that are contributing. I don't know if they even know how big this is. Sometimes that's a good thing. But the next thing you know, they're the quarterfinals knocking on the door.
Right, and I think, we talked about he's playing with house money. I mean, from the coaching perspective, you got a very young team. You've now picked up 2 wins. You're probably happy to get 1.
Happy to get 1. Happy to make the tournament to start the year. Happy to get 1. Now you're in the quarterfinals, and there's a good vibe with this team right now. Seniors are making the right plays. Underclassmen seem to be finding their own groove, and they're a dangerous team, and they're a team you want to face. They handle the ball well. They play good defense. They're principled in terms of what they want to do in their matchup zone. They're sharing the ball extremely well. They're making some good finishes at the rim, and they seem to have a little bit of everything.
So a 56-42 win for the Wildcats. Coach Brown's coming up right now, so we're going to give him the headset. I'm going to have a quick conversation with him before we come back and wrap it up here from Alumni Gym in the final game of the year. We're going to get Coach Brown on the headset. Look, if we said at the start of the year that you're going to be playing in the quarterfinals,
No.
You're not thinking that.
Not thinking that, no, but the kids earned it, though. They worked their tail off in the offseason, and now I can actually say that it pays off. So.
Did you get a little nervous when they started to make that run
Oh,
in the
yeah.
third?
Oh, yeah.
They got it down to 10. It was 20 at the half. They got it to 10.
10, and then they didn't fold though. They knew they had it, so confidence was there to finish it off. So.
Lavoie scores 4 in the first half, and he ends up with 17.
Yeah, he also helps finish it off for us. He's very strong with the ball, can take it to the rack, and makes his foul shot. So can't ask for much more from him. Great team effort, though.
So we're going on the road Friday to either Cheney or Innovations. Do we
Yeah.
know anything about either of those teams?
I'm not a little bit about. I know they went
Watching some film tonight, are you?
Exactly. I know they were in the finals rematch last year. They were both 2 good teams, so we got our work cut out for us, but we're ready.
And that game just started at 7 o'clock, so we don't have any information on it. You will be interested to know the girls are up by 2 at the half in Richfield, so we got that going on. So maybe we're going to have 2 teams in the quarterfinals on Friday. But Jeff,
so.
I mean, it just feels good.
Yes, it does.
It feels like you got to be ecstatic with what you've got right now. They're playing hard, and who knows? You pull this one off.
Yeah, we'll just keep riding the wave.
It's awesome. We
All right.
appreciate
Well,
you coming up. Thank you.
appreciate it.
Enjoy the celebration with
Thanks for
the
all you
guys.
do. Thank you.
And Coach Menard and I will do a brief little recap here with some final scores and thoughts before we call it a night. So if we look at it from the perspective of scoring for Westhill, Norwich had 4 points. Stevenson had 4 points. Marcial had 6. Hamicki had 2. Canate had 3. 1 from Wrangell, 2 from Evans, 1 from Rojas, and 2, 4, 6, 9, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19 points. Game high from Daquan Turner. For NFA, Rushan Klahar had 3, 6 points from Carter Stringer, both on threes, 7 from Javon Thompson. Jameer Ford had 11, Ethan Graham had 12, and the leading scorer for the Wildcats was Josh Lavoie with 7. So you got a young team. You now find yourself in the quarterfinals. What do you tell them? Are they believing in themselves? What's the mindset going into a game on Friday night?
I think the mindset has to be that they're very dangerous. They can beat anybody left in the state right now. They're playing their best basketball. They have a great blend of youth and senior leadership. They have guys that are unselfish, guys that know their role and play their role. And there's no reason for them not to believe they can't win the next round. They have a calm, cool, collected coach. I think they're in great position right now. They don't seem to get rattled. And again, you watch them on film, and you start scouting NFA, you know you're going to be in for a tough battle.
And I think that's all you can ask for at this point. We're going to make it a battle. It's going to be a game no matter where it goes. And it was a great game tonight. A 20-point lead at the half turns into a 14-point lead as a final score, 56-42. Anthony, thank you for stepping in for Coach Giusti. Hope it wasn't too bad for you. Felt pretty good. Get another one under our belts maybe next year. Yeah. This is our final game of the season because neither team, no matter what happens now, will not play at home. They go to the higher seed, and then if they advance, they go to neutral site games. Mark Betancourt, thank you again for pushing all the buttons and making it happen. Otherwise, we are signing off from Alumni Gym for